Hello Year 3, welcome to today's maths lesson. Today we are going to be calculating the number of days in a month and learn which months have 31, 30 and 28 or 29 days. Now on the screen I have a little song or rhyme that some of you may know, and it helps us learn or remember how many days are in each month, and it goes like this. 30 days hath September, April, June and November. All the rest have 31, but February is 28. The leap year, which comes once in 4, gives February 1 day more. So it's basically just saying that September, April, June and November have 30 days, all the rest have 31, but February is a little bit different and it has either 28 or 29 days, depending on whether it falls in a leap year or not. So our anchor task for today, we have this calendar on the screen. Ravi says, I think there are 6 months with 30 days. And Ruby says, I don't think that's correct. So can you explain who is right? So I'm going to use the calendar that they've given us because that might actually help me. And I'm going to go along the calendar and see which months have 30 days in. So my first month is April, has 30 days. June is my second. September is the third month with 30 days. And November is the last. So I think Ruby's right. I think Ravi is incorrect because there aren't 6 months, there is 4. So I might say something like, I agree with Ruby because the calendar shows that April, June, September and November have exactly 30 days and 4 months have 30 days, not 6. So that is our anchor task for today. Now we're going to have a practice together. The calendar looks a little bit differently. It's been broken down into the months that has 30 days and the months that have 31. And then we've got the table over here, which tells us a bit more about February. And it says in February, there are either 28 or 29 days. And then it has these tables here. It has the year and the number of days that were in February in that year. So it says that we say that 2012, 2016 and 2020 are leap years, and in leap years there are 29 days in February. So we can see from the table 2012 has 29, 2016 has 29 and 2020 has 29 too. So can you work out when the next leap year will be? So you are correct if you think that the next leap year will be in 2024. So our last leap year was actually last year in 2020. Leap years happen every 4 years. So if we add the 4 to 2024, sorry, if we add the 4 to 2020, the next leap year will be in 2024. Okay, now we're going to do a bit of guided practice before you move on to your independent practice. We have 2 questions on the screen, and I've also just kept my calendar from the first few slides because that's going to be quite helpful. The first question says, Charles took the entire month of March to complete a project. How many days did he take? So I'm going to use the information from the question. So it's the entire month of March. Entire means the whole month. So I don't need to look at any other month other than March. How many days did it take? Well, there are 31 days in March. So it took Charles 31 days to complete his project. Now, this next question says, Lulu took 2 months to read a collection of 8 books. How many days did she take? And then Charles is over here scratching his head saying, does it matter which 2 months it was? What do you think? So what I would do is, I think first of all, I need to think about how many days there can be in each month. And we know that there can either be 28 or 29, 30 or 31 days, depending on what month it is. So then I would work out all the possible combinations of the 2 months that she might have read the books in. And I have already worked these out to the side. you can see the combination of the 2 months. So for example, we've got the 28 days, so she might have read in February, and the 30 days she might have read in February and April. Then we've got 28 again, so I'm assuming it's February, and 31 days, so she could have read them in February and March. She could have been reading on a leap year. This could have been taking place last year, where February had 29 days. So she could have read in February and April, or she could have read in February and March if it was last year. She could have read in April and June for the 30 days of 30 days. She could have read in June and July for 30 days and 31 days, or she could have read in July and August for the 31 and 31 days. So that's all the combinations. There is one that I didn't include on here, and that was 28 days and 29 days, because that would mean she would start reading in February, maybe last year, where it had 29 days, and then she might have finished them this February, which had 28 days. I'm sure it didn't take her a year to read, so I've left that one out. And then what I did was I worked out the answers to all these number sentences, and they were fairly straightforward, just adding 30 to 28. So I had 58, 59, 59, 60, 60, 61, and 62. So how many days did she take? Well, it could have been anywhere between 58 and 62 days. And kind of answering Charles' question, it does matter which months she read the books in. So my answer would read something like this. It does matter which month she read the books in, because the number of days vary. It could take her between 58 and 62 days. So that's the answer that I would give to that question. Now, your activity for today is to take these months with the years underneath, cut them out, and either stick them, or you can just write them if you want to, in which column you think they belong in. Now, you do have to pay attention to the year as well. I'm sure you can access a calendar from previous years, either online or on someone's phone, and then you just need to put them in the columns that you think they belong in. Then the last thing for today, your challenge is to put the month of 2021, so this year, into your columns. And then can you add the month and year that you were born into the correct column too? I hope you enjoyed this maths lesson, and don't forget to send any of your work into the Year 3 email.